Howdy y'all, Amber here and welcome back to Ginger Cowgirl Snook. So today I will be coloring this picture. You can see I kind of started it, but then I decided I'd make a video of it. This is a buddy color with emmacolours2020. I'll put a link to her Instagram and her YouTube channel below in the description. So I contacted her, asked her if she wanted to do a buddy color with me. Of course, as awesome as she is, she said yes. And we decided that we were going to do this picture. This is in Jade Summer's Mermaids, his grayscale version, and I decided that I'm going to use my Oohoo pastel markers to color this. I tried a little bit at first because I wasn't sure if the pastels would be dark enough to show up on the grayscale, but it looks like that it is perfect, so let's get started, okay? So how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had an awesome 4th of July. I know I had a pretty good 4th. Shockingly so, because usually I really do not like the 4th of July. I don't like it at all. There's a couple reasons why, and I just don't like it. The biggest part is back in 2014, my dad was in the hospital. He was standing a couple strokes because he was having to detox off of alcohol. Well, the strokes ended up giving him brain damage, and unfortunately on the 3rd I was asked to decide if we were going to take him off life support or if we were going to keep him on it. It was hard. It was really, really hard, so I made the decision to take him off it because I knew my dad would not want to live a life where he was a vegetable. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do, is tell the doctors to go ahead and do that. Well, it was like a combination of me and my mom both. Like, I was there for her, and we had many conversations about it, and how dad didn't want to live a life where he was a vegetable. Mom was having a hard time letting it go. For a minute, though, I really didn't think that mom would be able to do it, so yeah, be able to tell them to do that. So anyways, that's what happened on the 3rd. On the 4th, he was pronounced dead, but it was a nightmare. I was getting called a murderer right along with my mom because we were in the hospital with him, and it was a mess. So I since then really don't like 4th of July's ever. I hold it together the best that I can because I have children and my children love the 4th of July. So I kind of suck it up and go do all the events and everything for the sake of my children and my family. So yeah, although this one I had my bad moments like every year, but this one was actually fairly good. So on the 3rd, we went to the celebration in the city that's by us at the local mall, where they had DJs and contests and fireworks, and like at this particular mall, they have the like water place that the kids could play in and everything, so it was a lot of fun. And then yesterday, I went to the Hiram festival, which was fun. It's where you go, basically all it is like you go to the softball field and or the soccer field, softball fields, whatever. You hang out, you chill out with family, you do all of that stuff, and then the fireworks, go off at dusk. So it was nice. I went out there, took my softball glove, started teaching my girlfriend how to throw a ball and catch a ball, and I got quite the arm on me, so she wasn't expecting that. And then my husband convinced me to play some football with throw a football around with a couple guys. And they were shocked that I could throw that far and that hard, which it's not really shocking to me, but I guess to some it is. So that was a lot of fun. And my sister came and we watched the fireworks with us, and then we were going to go light off our personal fireworks, but unfortunately where we usually do them we can't, so that really sucked. So we drove around trying to find another place and we couldn't find anywhere, and then we were going to try to go out tonight to see if maybe we could find some more somewhere that we could go, but unfortunately we couldn't do that. So yeah, that kind of sucked, but it's all good. So it was actually a fairly good 4th of July. I was so proud of my mom. So for the first time ever since the issue with my dad, she actually celebrated the 4th of July. So she went to the 4th of July parade in her town, which I was very happy for her. I was very proud of her for doing so. Baby steps. She didn't know if she wanted to do the fireworks per se, but hey, the parade's a start, right? So I did that. So I was really proud of her for that. So that's how my 4th of July went. Also, I have an interview tomorrow. So I currently still work with Securitas, which is my security company that I work with right now. I still love where I work at. The problem is I don't like sitting behind a desk. And my goal is to become an armed guard, because after I'm an armed guard for so many years, then I will be able to be I'll be able to carry for like the armored trucks. So I think that would be a lot of fun to do. Be able to work with an armored truck. I did, however, get the okay to finally become a cop, and the reason I got the okay to become a cop is because of a couple different reasons. So I've wanted to be a cop for quite a while now, but my husband and my wife didn't want me to be a cop because of how dangerous it is, and that's how I ended up in security. But the day before the 4th of July, a couple days before the 4th of July, we also have something here called the Cruise-In. It's basically a car show. And at the Cruise-In, they have a little car parade where all the cars go around on Main Street, I don't know, however many times they want to. And then they, go back to Willow Park, or the fairgrounds where the car show normally is. Well, at the fairground, during the Cruise-In parade, we went to a little place called Angie's here where we live to eat, and it's like right on the main street where they do the parade for all the cars. Well, we were going through, and they have cops in full force. They have cops riding bikes, they have cops riding motorcycles, they have cops standing in the middle of the street to keep all the cars and everything where they need to be. They have cops that are walking around. They have cops on those little things that you see on Paul Bart that are all over, making sure making sure people stay off the road, making sure none of the cars hit into each other, and so on and so forth. Well, it was really awesome because a motorcycle cop kept driving around, and my son really likes cops, and he really, really likes motorcycles. Well, the cop decided to pull over and let my son sit on his motorcycle. Made my son's day, and then he let my other two boys sit on his motorcycle, and even let our oldest son rev the engine of his motorcycle, which he thought was awesome. And I'm like, I would be that cop. Like, if I was a cop, I would be that cop. You know, I would be that cop that you see that's playing basketball with kids. I'll be that cop that you'd see, like, you know, helping people, not just in a protecting manner, but like, you know, playing basketball with them. Or if kids, or like, I saw this video where a cop got a call because the kids were sledding in the road, and on a dirt road that was kind of a one-way road kind of thing, but somebody got mad as they were going by and they were just sledding on the road, so the cop got up there and he started sledding in the road too. And I would be one of those cops. And I told my wife and my husband, I'm like, see, I would be one of those cops. I would be one of those cops that, like, would be very involved with the community, you know, shop for a cop, like all that kind of stuff. And my wife finally says, she goes, you know what, okay, I'll let you be cop. And my husband has told me that he will support me no matter what I do. Like, even if he doesn't want me to be a cop and I decide to be a cop, like, he would support me 100%. So I got the okay to be a cop. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do that, but it's nice to know that I have the option. I did look into the tuition here for the police academy, which is $3,462 for the course that I would, I love Hertel, that I would be in, which is fine. And alright, I gotta figure out what color to color these bubbles. I want a light blue, so these are just my color swatch sets that came in the Oohoo markers, and I want to really light blue. Sorry, I got the hiccups, guys. So I think maybe this blue gray, or should I do pale grayish blue? I think I'm gonna do blue gray. So yeah, it was really nice to see one of those. But then, so I'm undecided about if I want to join the police. Like, I want to be a cop, but I also have another good opportunity that stumbled apart my way. So I have an interview tomorrow with HSS Security. Now, HSS Security is the position that I applied for is an armed guard position, and it's $17.60 an hour, but it's what we call a flex position. So what that means is I'm able to contact my supervisor and be like, okay, so this week I could only work this day, and this day, and then I would be in that day, and that day. Or I would be like, unfortunately I can't work this day or this day, but I could work this day or this day. So it's kind of like a an on-call position, but I'm only on call during the shifts that, like, from my understanding, there will be shifts that are my own. Like, if I told him that I could work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the day shift, then he would put me, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then if I told him that I could be on call, say, Thursday and Friday for, like, the grave shift, then that's the days that he would give me on call, from what I understand. And I'm like, that's actually a really good idea, because then I could still keep my Securitas job, which is a steady schedule. So I always know that if I don't work at all at HSS, then I at least get, you know, my normal paycheck once a week. And if I do work at HSS, then it's kind of like extra money per se. And I kind of really, really like that idea, especially with how, like, because me and my family were, like, very, 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 like, kind of on the go type of family. And so it's nice that we have, so right now we have me and my husband who both work the weekend shifts. And because we work the weekend shift, that gives us the whole week to do pretty much whatever we want to do, right? So that's always really, really, really nice. However, the problem with that is, sorry, I think I know I want to make this dolphin purple, but I'm trying to decide if I want to do viola or if I want to do pink lilac or antique Francesca. I think I want to do antique fresh fuchsia. I think that would be a good color. Anyway, so I'm like, that seems like the best thing that I can do. So I already did my phone interview for that position. And then there's a video interview, which is what I have to do tomorrow at 6, or at 9 in the morning. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it all works out and I get that job. However, the lady that I talked to on the phone seemed very much like she would want to hire me, so like I would be a good fit for the job. So we'll see how that goes. And quite honestly, if I get to the point where I'm interviewing for a job, like I don't think I've ever been turned away from an interview. Maybe when I was like a kid and I just started working, but I've always been able to like get the job from the interview. So we'll see how it works. Hopefully it all works well, and that would kind of really be a blessing for my family, because then I could work the overtime when I need to, like depending on how much we need to or not. So I believe that would be a really good option. And if I get that position, it's an armed position, and after I'm an armed guard for, I believe it's 2 years, I'm pretty sure it's 2 years, then I could apply to work in an armored truck with like one of the banks, like Brink's armored truck or something like that. So that would be very awesome. Plus, another good thing about HSS security is they only have 3 main branches that they do security in: hospital, airport, and government. And if I could work my way all the way up to government security, then I'd be doing pretty good for myself. But we'll see. We'll see how the interview goes tomorrow and go from there. The only thing that does kind of suck about having to work at the hospital is I might, and hopefully not, I might have to get the COVID vaccine. Which, originally, like, I wasn't gonna get it, but, like, I don't know, I just wasn't gonna get it, and then I'm like, but if, like, my job requires me to get it, like, I'm gonna get it anyways, because it's stupid to lose your job in a pandemic because you won't take a vaccine. Especially when there's so many people that don't have jobs. There's so many people that are struggling because they can't find jobs, and then when you already got one, especially one that that pays good money like mine does, it would just be stupid not to do it. So I would get the vaccine. So yeah, that's what's happening in my little world. Other than that, everything's going really, really well. It's really, really hot here though. It's been like in the hundreds where I live. So really, really hot. And then my house, it doesn't have air conditioning. So we got like a billion fans going off to try to help keep things cool. But it's not really, really working. So, it is what it is. So I'm trying to think what color I want to do this girl's hair. At first I thought I wanted to do it pink and orange, but that's a lot of pink and orange on this page, so I'm thinking maybe a purple. I think maybe I'll take this viola purple and color it, and color her hair that color, because I think it'll be pretty. Pretty hair. So I don't know if I will get all this video done on camera, or I mean all this picture done on camera. I might have to finish it off of camera, but if I do, I will post it onto my Instagram, so you can see the finished product. And again, this is a buddy color with emmacolours2020. So I was actually really excited when she said that she'd do a buddy color with me, because I actually really like doing them. I've only done one before, and it's with Ashley's World in Color. I believe that's what it's called. I'll look it up, put her info in the description box as well, if you guys want to go check out our buddy color we did. Mine's on my channel. We did Cute Witches by Jade Summer, but we did the ones and made them our Hogwarts houses. Hers was Hufflepuff and mine was Ravenclaw. So that was really nice and quite fun to do. It was very fun for me to try to figure out how I was going to incorporate blue and silver into pretty much everything. But I think it did really, really well. So I also linked that picture in my Instagram too. So if you want and you don't want to watch the videos, you guys could go find it on Instagram, because it is on my Instagram channel as well. Well, I guess Instagram ain't really a channel, it's a social media, but y'all know what I mean. So, and then hopefully my best friend came back from Oregon, so I don't have little Miss Celine here anymore. Celine is her king snake. She was the cutest little thing. It was funny because like I panicked at one point because like her heat gauge started beeping, and so I'm like, I want to make sure she's okay. I get the temperature like to get back where it's supposed to, and I'm not seeing her, and I'm worried about her, and I'm like, okay, so I gotta find her. But king snakes, if you don't know, are burrowers. So I'm looking everywhere for her, couldn't find her. Ended up tearing apart her whole enclosure. Finally found her. She was perfectly fine. But still, I'm like, good goodness. She burrowed really, really well. And then the last Saturday, I gave her her pinkies every Saturday. But last Saturday, I gave her pinkies and I watched her eat them. She was so curious about everything, like going all through her kennel or all through her enclosure and climbing on stuff, and it was really nice just to watch her explore her enclosure, because usually like she comes out like at nighttime. Well, by the time that I get my kids in bed and by the time I get all that, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, I just want to go lay down. So I never pay attention to what is going on. So I'm trying to decide what color to color this seashell. Part of me wants to color it kind of monotoned, and part of me does not. So part of me wants to color it like this ash rose and this eggshell. Ash rose, sand, and eggshell. But at the same time, I'm like, well, that will pop her forward. So I'm not sure. I'm going to make the fish really bright and go from there. So for the fishies, let's make a fishy Let's get out holocock. Let's pick one fishy holocock. I'll paint these fishies holocock. Yeah, they'll be cute. Get them little fishies. And I think this little one is just a baby version of these. So I'm going to color it the same. Like that. There we go. That's a cute little fishy. And then I will take Pink Lilac, color the other part of it. So I'm actually really shocked, you guys. I thought it would be really, really hard to color in the grayscale coloring book with the pastel marker collection. I thought the colors would not be dark enough to pick up the grayscale. But I think it's turning out fine. And now we're going to make an orange fish. Bright orange fish. I'm going to take Ceradox. This one right here, I believe it's called Ceradox. And I think I am going to color the other part of this fishy. There's that fishy. I like it. And then I think I'm going to make this one up here green. So I'm going to pull out green shadow and horizon green. Green shadow and horizon green. And we're going to do this fishy up here, these colors. This fishy likes to hide in the seaweed. There we go. Let's make his eye this color too. There we go, that looks better. And then for this little fishy over here, I think we should go with like a purple color scheme. So I'm going to take thistle and mauve. I think I'm going to take thistle and mauve to color that fishy over there. How this is turning out. It's turned out so cute in my opinion, and I'm very excited that I chose to do pastel colors. Very excited. Alright, now I'm going to pull out the mauve, color the eyeball. Oh, I love the little fishies. Okay. And now back to this big huge shell. Like I said, I think I'm going to do sand, ash rose, and eggshell white. I think I want to make this in part eggshell white, and I think I want to make this part sand white, and I think I want to make the bottom ash rose. So first let's get out sand white. Sand white and ash rose. Okay. Like I said, so this is sand white, and I want to color this part of the shell in sand white. And I'm pretty sure I could use the chisel part, so I'm going to switch to the chisel side. Let me get this done. So let's see what else I'm going to tell you. So on Saturday, hopefully, on Saturday I'll be able to go paddle boarding with a girl that I work with. She's been wanting to go paddle boarding with me and my wife for a little while now. We've been trying to figure out a date, so I think we're going to do it on Saturday. This Saturday, after I get off work. And I'm hoping that I can maybe see if my best friend will watch my kids for a couple hours while me and Maddie go and paddleboard, because I think it'll be fun to do without like just the children. But at the same time, if I can't find a babysitter, the girl that I work with is like, oh, bring the kids, it'll be fun. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure about that, but my hope is I could get a babysitter. So that we could paddleboard with this individual whom I work with. And I've also thought about making that me and Princess's date for the month. So usually every month, me and my husband go on a date, me and my wife go on a date, and then me, my husband, and my wife all go on a date together, so that we can, so we all have quality time together. Like Brandon has his time with me, Mandy has her time with me, and everything's fine. And then we also have the time where we could interact with each other outside of being parents to our children, outside of, taking care of our home and stuff like that. So we've only been on a couple since, I think we've only did this one other time since my wife got here. We've wanted to do it before, but we just honestly just really haven't had the time to, with my wife coming from the situation that she was in. She had to get very used to being in public places. She had to build within trust between me and him so that she could be in public places with us. And we had to take care of all of this before we could do that. So, but now we've got it, and it's going great. She even went to the pool again yesterday, even though she had a really bad PTSD moment the last time we went to the pool. She went again and had fun, so that's always a plus. We consider that a little teeny tiny win. And little teeny tiny wins are a big deal when you come from a situation like she did, so that is always a plus. Guys, this picture has turned out so cute. I'm loving it. At first I was very skeptical about using the pastel markers, but I'm glad I decided to give it a shot. To use, because this is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I love that Uhuhu gives you a mini color chart that you could just keep in your little book. Like, I do color swatch all of my markers and stuff, but I do it in the Jade Summer color swatch book. And it works, and it's great. But sometimes taking a full-size coloring book is just too much. Like if you're going on vacation or something. So the idea of having mini little swatches that you could put in, that you could hold in the marker case is amazing, is an amazing idea. And I wish that more alcohol markers would do the same thing, because it is very convenient to not have to take an extra book with you, just so you know what the colors look like when they dry. However, some people don't like that. Some people just like picking them as they go and not really looking at the color swatch and just going with it. So, and I'm one of those people half the time. So half the time I look at my color swatches, and half the time I don't. Half the time I just pick and see where it goes, and half the time I actually like look at color swatches and pick colors from those. Not always though. Not always. Oh, I love how this has turned out. What do y'all think? Y'all liking how it's turned out? I think having the she shall be that she's sitting in be very neutral. I think it pops out her and her surroundings very well, which is what I wanted. And if y'all want to try grayscale, but you guys are absolutely petrified to try it, try Jade Summer, guys. He has in my personal opinion, he has the best grayscale on the market. Especially if you're one of those that just likes to straight color. I feel like Jade Summer's grayscale is not too dark, but not too light, so I feel like it's kind of perfect, actually. And, I love it. I love his grayscale. Sometimes I think grayscale is kind of hit and miss. Sometimes I feel like it's way too dark. Sometimes I feel like it's way too light. And I feel like Jade Summer is like a perfect medium of where I think grayscale should be personally. Don't get me wrong, there's some people that absolutely love coloring really dark grayscale. There's some people that really don't like coloring dark grayscale. Like Dream World is a very dark grayscale coloring book. I can't remember the artist off the top of my head, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a grayscale coloring book with a little mushroom on the top, on the front of it. I have mine in the travel size version. That one, and then I think that grayscale is an example of what it's too dark in my personal opinion. And then the grayscale example of grayscale that I think is too white is Rachel Mintz. I think it's 100 grayscale images or something like